Some old school Hollywood here. On the left, this corner property was Jimmy Stewart's house.
Oh,
You'll see him once again on It's a Wonderful Life. It'll be on TV later this year. Jimmy Stewart, while he lived there, his neighbor to the right was Lucille Ball from the old I Love Lucy TV shows of the early 1950s. They were neighbors. That's how it was back in the day. Now celebrities like to live on gates and hedges and all that kind of stuff. And then the next White House at the corner was where Joan Crawford lived. The late Joan Crawford, someone never to be confused with Mother of the Year. You ever saw a film called Mommy Dearest? You know what I'm referring to, right?
That's her house right there?
This was her house, yeah.
Oh, wow.
She's no longer with her.
Right.
So imagine going trick-or-treating back in the day, going house to house on a block like this. Of course, when kids go trick-or-treating on Halloween, it's a little bit different in Beverly Hills. They take their candy door to door, they put them in little Louis Vuitton bags. That's how they collect. Too silly for you guys? Normally it's so quiet around here that if you listen very intently, you can hear a facelift drop. Hear the scream following that as well. Anyone here watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Yeah.
Oh, you're admitting it. Okay. Okay. On the right, there's a property. There's a house behind these hedges here. Up the driveway with the double wide gates. Oh, facelift drop. Hear that? And that is owned by Irv Azoff. He's a music executive. And he allowed that house to be used for Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's where Lamar Odom married Khloe Kardashian, right? And that's where Kim Kardashian had the baby showers for her children, North and Saint. Anyone here on this tour named North or Saint? Just curious. Didn't think so. Some of the best singers of all time lived in this street. On the left, this was the house of Frank Sinatra. Chairman of the board, Old Blue Eyes, lived right over here for a while. He had a lot of houses in the area, like many celebrities through time. But while he lived there, actually not while he lived there, but at a different time, there's a home coming up on the right. Hard to see, it's in white behind all these hedges. And this home was owned by the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. So he had 3 homes in the area at different times. Eventually he died in 1977 in Memphis, Tennessee at Graceland Mansion. I don't know who lives here now. These Buddhas are only here a few years or so. Elvis was here decades ago. Not only did the king of rock and roll live here on this street, so did the king of pop, Michael Jackson. The house coming up on your left, top of the hill, is where Michael Jackson was living for 6 months between December 2008, when he moved in, until the day he died, June the 25th, 2009. When Michael Jackson died from his second floor bedroom of this property. He died of a drug overdose of propofol given to him by Dr. Conrad Murray, his personal physician. When Michael was living here, he was paying rent of $100,000 per month. Just to be here temporarily while he was rehearsing with his band on the This Is It tour. And of course it never materialized because he died 2 weeks before they were to leave to London to start that tour. That's where the king of pop eventually popped. Too soon?
Yeah.
Hi Linda, what's up?
Hi sweetie, I was just going to ask, do you know when they're going to start blocking streets off in Hollywood for the parade?
They did it today. Hollywood Boulevard's blocked off.
Oh.
So Hollywood Boulevard blocked off today and tomorrow for the parade. Yeah.
What about Sunset Boulevard?
No, it's not blocked.
Will it be?
Maybe tomorrow, late afternoon, they probably will. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I got hope out here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what, I'm doing better today than I was yesterday with that Black Friday. I looked at the videos, I was like, oh my god.
Do you have any Black Friday sales?
Yeah, we actually, normally the maps are $25.
Oh.
You guys get them for $10, and it's hot off the press with Angelina Jolie's new home a mile away from Brad, P. Diddy, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Drake, Dr. Dre, Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, Bruno Mars. So you got a lot of new ones, and all the restaurants, TMZ stocks, snacks, person. And it makes a nice souvenir. That's the cover of the map. If you guys would like one, you get it for $10 today.
I guess I don't want to. Oh well.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you later,
Did
Linda.
you notice something? They're putting bars up.
I noticed that, yeah. I saw yesterday they're putting up bars in both
I
of
didn't
them.
want to ask them what happened when I wasn't here because I was notified the security guard when I was of weird stuff. But I do know they jumped over 2 months after they moved in A girl jumped over 12 midnight, banged on the the back gate, yeah, and insisted. The owner came like, "What the heck?" She almost broke the door. She's pounding so hard, and she said, "I know you got Michael in here. I'm his wife. You bring him out right now. I know you're holding him against his will." She not only got arrested, she got locked up in a loony bin. Then her cousin comes to town and starts taking pictures, running in the gate, stalks the house for about 2 months. Every Thursday she came to a whole month. And then she threatened to get me she threatened to sue me, sue the police officers, sue the owners of the home. She went stark raving mad. So I don't know what happened at night, but because Michael Jackson, the normal fans, they run up to the gate, they peek through, they get pictures, they're used to it. They don't mind. But when you start hopping over their property, that's, I don't know what happened. I didn't want to ask them. I just told them that I used to get, when Michael was alive, these people would climb up that little wall, that little square thing right there, and get their feet in the ledges thing and crawl over the gate, and we'd stop them. And Michael's guards used to thank us for protecting the property.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty serious, but now, you know, you got all these wonderful fans, but out of the millions, there is at least
a few.
300 that are
There's
out
always
of
going to
mind.
be 2, yeah.
Have
a good day.
Annie.
Alrighty,
Happy
bye-bye.
holidays, guys.
These the gates that opened up the day Michael Jackson died. The ambulance backed away, took him to the hospital, pronounced dead on arrival. Right there. Okay, now, I was not expecting that. I don't... She's talking to us. I see her all the time. That's the first time she's ever done that. It's like, I'm trying to do it. It's like saying, hey, I'm trying to do a tour. Can you please not do that?
Yeah.
So that's not part of this tour. That was an unscheduled stop, trust me. Anyway, she's been there for years. Sunny maps. Anyway, you guys having a good time today?
Yeah.
All right. And on to Sunset we go, people. This street travels from LA to the beach, 22 miles, 35 kilometers across Los Angeles. A lot of black folks right here. Oh, FedEx truck, I mean, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Can't block those dudes. Now you notice no sidewalks here. I'm gonna point out some properties to you. This one on your right with orange cones are up ahead. It was a house that was used in some scenes of 9 to 5, a movie called 9 to 5. Former house of Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. Back over here. So these houses are set back from the street just a little bit.
Yeah.
Considering it was Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. Might have been some Friday night fights here on occasion. The home next door sold early last week for $24 million. Don't know who bought it. At one time, the house of actor Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Before that, it was the house of Beach Boy founder Brian Wilson.
Oh, wow.
So whoever bought the house might get some good vibrations. Have some fun. And there's a house under construction, which I mentioned before. It happens a lot around here. Coming up on your right, look how big this house is. Quite the sizable house. And what I like the look of the house. It looks cool, right? I don't like the selection of the guest bathrooms on the right of the driveway. What do you think? It's pretty cheap, right?
Yeah.
I'll use the green one. Okay. And then next door to this home, a former home or a home of 2 celebrities who used to live here. One sold it to the other, 2 actresses. First it was Renee Zellweger's house from the movies Chicago and Bridget Jones' Diary and many others. She sold the house to actress Deborah Messing from the show Will and Grace. No one famous living there right now. So there's no messing around anymore. Don't grunt, come on. Here's a new house on the right going up. Oh, before I show you that, I keep forgetting. This house on the left, big property here owned by George Lucas. George Lucas of Star Wars fame. He bought the house in May for $34 million. Technically, $33,900,000. And then the house on the right, nice looking house. No one famous lives here, you know. Look at these houses. You can appreciate them for the architecture and landscaping, but not every one of them lived in by someone famous. Big nice empty house here. Looks like they're doing some work on it today. Now, are these homes large enough for everybody? What do you think? Not big enough. Are you serious? You need more room? I got the house just for you. Look on your left. Here's a house under construction. It's not a hotel. It's a single family home going on.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Is that big enough for you?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
good.
We're
We're satisfied apparently. That is a pretty big property. A lot of acreage. Huge house under construction. Once the house is finished, then they'll work on the hardscape, which would be the pool, tennis court. Last but not least would be landscaping. That's always the last thing that goes in. It's like driving through Fantasyland. Any golfers on board? Not really. On the right, the Bel-Air Country Club, private country club and golf course. And to join, membership is about $200,000. Bel-Air Country Club. And then get on the left, that huge house going up. A lot of windows to clean once that's finished, huh? So pick one out. Dream about living there. Dream often, dream large. Maybe you'll live here someday.
Oh, really?
It's more like $10 or $20. Yeah, to take care of that ticket. Okay, I was gonna go this way, but on request, we're not supposed to be in the street because of the weight restriction. There has been in the past when you're on it, but they're more conscious of it to hand out violations. So we'll go right down the street real quick. This home on the left, owned by a Saudi Arabian prince or sheikh. You used to be able to see all of it, and then he planted all these trees, and you can't see much now. The house next door, up the next driveway, where these guys are doing some landscaping, owned by Sean Parker. He was the guy that invented Napster, and he was the president of Facebook for a while. In the movie The Social Network, portrayed on film by Justin Timberlake. Sean Parker, he's a billionaire. And his house, right up against the Playboy Mansion, sold last year for over $100 million. You after now the late head of Playboy lived right over here for years and years. Died 2 months ago in this house. It's behind it. See the house behind it, a little bit taller? It's kind of hard to see. So anyway, that's where the Playboy Mansion located. I don't know what's going to happen to it now. Like I said, it was resold for over $100 million last year. One of the only residences in Los Angeles that has a license for a zoo. That monkeys there, of course, a lot of bunnies running around. Playboy variety, of course. The Rodeo swimming pool, all that stuff. Another one. You guys okay about it? This house is something to sneeze at. Look at this. Here's another big house going up. Yeah, when they build them new, they build them really big, just gigantic. Yeah, we can't go in that street any longer. It's closed off to overweight vehicles. Yep. The tour changes, it evolves all the time. Coming up in front of us is the biggest house in the area, known as the Manor. You might have heard of it referred to as the Spelling Mansion. The Spelling Mansion, built by Aaron Spelling, TV producer. He and his wife Candy built this gigantic house on the left. It was completed in 1991, so big the White House could fit inside of it.
What?
56,500 square feet inside. 123 rooms, including 14 bedrooms, 27 bathrooms, indoor pool, outdoor pool, movie theater, you name it, they have it all in here. Bowling alley. This is the service entrance, and here's a picture of what it looks like from above. So I was going to show this from another angle. This is a little bit better, but Here you go. You're looking at the left side of this picture.
Wow.
This home is up for sale, in case you're interested. You ready? Listed for sale at $200 million. $200 million. It was last sold in 2011. Mr. Spelling had died of natural causes. Mrs. Spelling sold the house to 22-year-old British socialite Petra Ecclestone from the Ecclestone Formula One racing family from England. So she's now got the house up for sale for $200 million. Here's the main entrance at 594 South Mapleton Drive.
594 South Main.
I was going to show it from across the park on the other street, way across there, but a little bit closer from here. I'm going to sneak out of here while we can. Did you guys enjoy that?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, right? I used to go there all the time, but yeah, they're just clamping down now on keeping some of the heavier vehicles and touring vehicles out of neighborhoods like that. Shame on them, right? Here's a park on the right called Holmby Park. Oh, today's Saturday, so they have lawn bowling. Apparently you have to be about 80 years old and wear white. Look on your right.
My dad used to play that.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday here at Holmby Park, go lawn bowling.
That's really my dad used to cheer.
There you go. So Bel-Air and Holmby Hills, very, very expensive. That was a stop sign if you didn't notice that person who just went through. Okay, we're gonna go right on to Wilshire Boulevard here in just a moment. The name of the city on these shields, these are the trademark crests of Beverly Hills. Sorry, I got some traffic behind me. Couldn't stop there. And then in front of us on the right, the Beverly Hilton Hotel. It opened up in 1955. Back in 2012, in room 434, this is where singer Whitney Houston died. In a bathtub drowning accident, drugs in her system, here at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. And the newest hotel in Beverly Hills is on the right. It's the Beverly Waldorf Astoria. It opened up in the summertime. And room rates there begin at about $750 a night. It's not cheap. You want to stay in there on this tour? How about the Motel 6? Don't raise your hands. One in there. I'll take it down to Beverly Drive. We'll make a left on Beverly. We'll go right by Rodeo Drive. Another straight where last year the city of Beverly Hills instituted a new weight-restricted law. So you can't take this big vehicle on it. Smaller ones wouldn't go on. On the right, Panache Bridal. Buy a wedding dress right there. Nothing will be cheap there, that's for sure. It's all about luxury here, people. Neiman Marcus department store out of Dallas, Texas. Sometimes referred to as needless markups. And then up ahead of us in white, this building is the men's store at Saks Fifth Avenue, Beverly Hills. Men's store on the right takes up 1/3 of the block here. Not to be outdone is the women's store, which takes up the entire next block. And in 2001, it's where actress Winona Ryder was arrested for stealing shoplifting. So that little occurrence happened at Saks Fifth Avenue women's store. Robertson Boulevard, we'll pass that later on. We might pass, depends which way. Yeah. Robertson is just about a half a mile to the east from here. Okay, so the next street we cross over is Rodeo Drive. Pronounced Rodeo, not Rodeo. That's right, we're not in town. Most of the people walking on Rodeo don't have shopping bags in their hands. That's coming up on the left. On the right, that big building with the white and yellow awnings and giant flags is the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, where Richard Gere's character in Pretty Woman has the penthouse suite. Right, Julia Roberts up in this building. On the left, Rodeo Drive Shopping District. We'll go up Beverly Drive in just a few moments. Just as expensive as Rodeo. There you go, on the left, not a lot of people there now, but sometimes a bunch of people checking out the Beverly Hills sign, gold lettering. At nighttime it's lit up, just like many of the Beverly Hills residents also lit up at nighttime. That's a different story. The park on the left, Beverly Gardens Park, going through renovations right now. On your right, the Beverly Hills City Hall building with the gold leaf top to it. Used in the Beverly Hills Cop movie starring Eddie Murphy.
Oh.
But the real police department is this building on the right, the actual one. Inside there is the Beverly Hills Jail, a good place for celebrity sightings. Brittany, Lindsay, Charlie Sheen, Nick Nolte, Zsa Gabor, right? It's the only jail in America where they have you sign a guest book before they lock you up. On the right, there's Playboy Enterprises, West Coast operations. When they built that building for Playboy, they didn't want to put a roof on it because they'd rather have kept it topless. But they put a roof on it. Are these jokes too silly for you guys? Churning them out here. Hundreds of thousands of people spilled into the street on Halloween night. It is the world's largest Halloween celebration. Have you heard of the Sunset Strip? On the tour beforehand. They all look kind of the same, old school. So most of the blocks around here look kind of like this, and now, you know, 100 years later, most of the blocks don't look like this one. Again, these houses can sell between $1 to $2 million each these days. There's a school coming up on your right at the corner. It's called Gardner Street School. It's an elementary school. And their auditorium named after their most celebrated student, Michael Jackson, who went to school here as an 8-year-old third grade student to the auditorium on your right. Yeah. He and his brothers, the Jackson 5, became too famous while Michael was going to school here. So they took him out of school and private tutored him for the remainder of his education. As an adult, he donated millions of dollars to the school district. He was brought back here in a public ceremony naming the auditorium after him.